Hi y'all, how's everybody going? Getting perkier as the months roll on. Got a lot to look forward to this year, and it's a good thing. There's lots of sad things happening too this year, and it just gets you to a point where you start wondering about things, on the whole, when you look at things. And as everybody knows, Australia Day has been and gone, and a lot of people celebrate Australia Day, and a lot of people jump on the bandwagon about what Australia Day means to them and what it should be and the values of what an Australian is. And I want to make people aware of that, because we, as I said, we celebrate Australia Day here in Oz, but when it comes, we all get on, as I said, the bandwagon, or we get on our, high horse, and we demonstrate or we celebrate, and then it goes, and then we tend to forget about it until the next year. But unfortunately, there are people here that have come to Australia to seek refuge and safety, and to better their life, and to have a better life, and to be treated as a human being with respect and dignity, to have their dignity and to have some honour. And a lot of people in Christmas Island don't have that. They're maintained in detention for large amounts of time, and we're talking years, and they're treated as criminals, not human beings. And their values for coming to Australia are very different to Australians that live here and are born here in Oz, I'm sure, because they sacrifice so much and put their life in a firing line, whether it be by, coming over by boat, and maybe, the odds of being drowned or boat sinking or anything happening to them is a lot. Or however they escape, and if they are lucky enough to escape, and they think Australia is here, and they look at Australia as they could be treated as humans, and they're not. They're put in detention, and as I said, treated like criminals for years. And when the government decides they're going to make a decision on what they should do with these people, with their men, women or children, they close every avenue, every door there is, and toss them out and return them back to their countries, knowing they're not safe. They have no havens over there. They've escaped with their lives, and to be returned back to know that they'll lose their life is you could never imagine what these people go through. Because as I said, we're lucky here in Australia. If you're born here in Australia, in other countries you're lucky. But these people here, they come here to Australia, whether it be right or wrong, ever which way they came, they're here. And they've come here to seek refuge and safety from the Australian government. And a lot of people, do eventually get released. And there was not so long ago a certain amount of men released after a certain amount of time, released into the community after spending X amount of time in detention but they were released. Now, government, and I'm going to have a shot at Peter Dutton and the government, but Peter Dutton, do you have a heart? Do you really have a heart? You think about it. With everything, and you must realise as a minister what's gone on and who's been released and on what grounds and why, to find yourself now turning your back on a family, a Tamil family that seek refuge for their life. In Australia, they came to Australia to be Australians, to join Australia, to grow as Australia, to be accepted as Australians. And they flee from their country, fearing for their life, and knowing if they were returned back there, their life would mean nothing. Their life would be nothing to be returned back to that country. And the Tamil family, and I'm not quite sure whether I'm saying it right or pronouncing it right, excuse me if I am, everybody, but the Bolala or Bolulaya family, that's from where they're from, Lola. I think that's how you pronounce it. I do apologise if it's not. But the Tamil family now, they're back in detention on Christmas Island. And how long have they been there? For what? 18 months, 2 years? To find that their avenues are getting so short, so slim, that the next minute they'll know that they'll be on a plane going back to their country that they've fled. Peter Dutton, please have a heart. The Tamil family here have proved their worth as Australians. They've integrated. They've been accepted by Australian people. They're loved by Australian people. From Balalala, I really can't pronounce it right, but from where they are from and were placed in Australia, the people loved them of that township. And they've proved their worth. They're integrated. They've come out and wanted to be involved in being an Australian. And I'm sure, Peter Dutton, if you ask them the Australian values, they would know it back to front. How many people on Australian Day, when they do get their Australian citizenship, would know that, really? Think about it. And the government, you're heartless. If you don't let these people stay, then you'll return them back and they will perish. They will be punished. This family, the Tamil family, deserves to stay in Australia. They've been here for years. They've spent how much time in Christmas Island being locked up? It's on the tube. The message from the Tamil family. It's so sad. Australian people, get behind this family. Because if anything, remember what we strive for on Australia Day. You know, this, that and all the other. And these people, they are Aussies. They are part of Australia. They've integrated. They are Aussies. They live the life. They want to live the life. They want to be integrated. They want to work. They want to be part of the community. So please, government, have a heart. Think about it, Mr. Dutton. Please. Out of everything you do and dismiss, or whatever your conscience is, at the end of the day, you've got to take a hard stand. Of course we all know this. But do have a heart, because these people deserve to stay in Australia. They deserve. They've shown their worth. So please, government, Peter Dutton, if you're listening to this, government, please have a heart. Release the people back into the community. They deserve, because they've shown how much Aussie they are. And remember, what we all celebrate in Australia. Australia Day, well, they've proved that. you know, and I'm sure they celebrated Australian Day, locked up too, but they celebrated as Aussies. So, but that's all I've got to say on that matter. But look, the vaccinations are coming. It's a good thing. So everybody realise that. Don't get complacent with your masks and your hygiene practices, as the Premier says. For everybody to, you know, to really nip this virus in the bud, what we've got to do is not think, oh, we're vaccinated, we're immune, and we can't catch this and we can't catch that. You can catch anything. So remember that. So remember, you know, your masks, your things like that, that all goes hand in hand. So remember that. So, but until next time, I would like to say to people over in the UK, America, that I hope you're coping very well with your vaccination rollout. And I hope that your year is setting off as a good year. Here in Oz, we're busy little bees. Of course we are. So it's a good thing. But if anybody here in Australia or in UK and America, if you are experiencing any abuse of any form, psychologically or physically, please reach out to your networks and support services. They are there in those two countries, and here in Oz, of course they are. Remember, psychological abuse is worse than physical abuse. Lots of times, that's where it starts, you know, manipulation, domination of the brain, and then it breaks down, and then it's not easy. You attack the body, mind, body, soul, spirit. So remember that, everybody. But till next time, I hope that you found this interesting. But please, government, have a heart with this Tamil family. They deserve to stay in Australia. You know, they've proved their worth as being Aussies. So, but until next time, look after yourself. Like, subscribe and comment. And my 4 codes: respect, dignity, honour and integrity. They'll serve you well. And of course, faith. But till then, like, subscribe and comment. And I do apologise. Sometimes I've made a few bloopers lately on the tube, so I do apologise. But sometimes it's when I'm, you know, tubing and making a tube at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's a bit hard. And you made a blooper. But anyway, but until next time, look after yourself and all. See you next time. Bye. See you next time.